This is the Multiversal Archivist coming at you with another video. Today we're going to talk about Rocksteady's next game in the Arkham Verse. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I'm going to give my honest impressions of it so far, including my reservations and my interests. While I haven't had a chance to play the game or anything like that, I have been following it quite exclusively and do have thoughts on it. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I do hope to cover the game in some capacity when it comes out. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has picked up steam over the last few weeks as we get closer to its January-February release date. Rocksteady's next foray into the Arkham Verse has made waves online with multiple controversies surrounding it. In a lot of ways, it feels like the poor game can't catch a break. Complaints about its premise, the fact that it's a live service game, and its gameplay are all under fire. People are very wary of it. However, it also has its supporters, and you might be surprised to find out that I'm one of them. Now, this comes with the hefty disclaimer that I myself haven't played it, but I am planning to. And I'm the kind of guy who kind of watches all the coverage of a video game and watches the developer insight and blog videos about it. I'm genuinely interested in the game, especially because it's a comic book property and it's not another Batman game. It's also a Rocksteady game, and even though I have some controversial takes on the Arkham series, Origins is my favorite, I know they can make a good game. I think it's also worth mentioning that their very first game was an FPS, so it's not like shooting is a new concept to them or something that they haven't worked with before. I've always been a fan of Task Force X and their exploits in the comics and their various animated movies. I have mixed feelings about the two live-action films, but that's a topic for another video. Now, in regards to what I think about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, they brought me back around on it. Now, full disclosure, when it was first revealed, I really wasn't a fan. My biggest issue with the game was the third-person shooter elements. I didn't really mind the live service game aspects. I had high hopes for Marvel's Avengers and played that game until it stopped getting support. I don't think that game was doomed to fail, and I don't think there's anything wrong with live service games as long as they're done right. Now, what bothered me the most was the fact that it was a third-person shooter, and I was playing as people who didn't really traditionally use guns. Now, for Deadshot, this makes sense. That's Deadshot's whole thing. And it even makes sense for Harley. Even though she prefers using her bat most of the time in the comics, she does use guns. But if I was going to play as Captain Boomerang and King Shark, I didn't want to fire a gun. I wanted to throw boomerangs and eat people. Nom nom nom. And don't get me wrong, that's still a worry of mine. For instance, I know with King Shark, you eventually have to fire your gun at some point. I did see he kind of has a cool juggle thing where he can launch people up in the air and then shotgun them. And I think that would be the build that I would prefer with him. Because then at least it makes sense a little bit that he is shooting a gun. Now, I don't know how often it is that I can purely throw boomerangs with our foul-mouthed Aussie, but the gameplay I've seen suggested a fair bit. As long as I can throw boomerangs like 90% of the time, I think I'm satisfied with that. Either which way, my goals with those characters will be to make builds that rely on boomerangs and melee as much as possible. The fact that it's so heavy on gunplay will always be meh to me. That being said, what matters most to me is the story. I can't wait to dive into that and see where it takes us. I know many people are upset or in arms that they're killing the Justice League, but honestly that's one of the more intriguing parts for me. I'm absolutely okay with us killing the Justice League by the end of the game. If that's what happens, I think it'll be cool. If it's some kind of fake out, that'll also be cool. Either way, I think the story has potential. Combine that with a traversal that seems fun, a new comic book city to explore, and Task Force X, and you've got me tentatively curious. Now, full disclosure, I was going to pick it up anyways because comics are my life, but I'm going in a lot more hopeful than I was initially. But what do you guys think of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Are you planning on playing it? With any hope, I'll be covering it in some capacity when it comes out, so keep tuned. For now, this has been the Multiversal Archivist. Keep calm and don't let space monkeys hang out with your Hellfire dog.